Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for November 8th through the 14th, 2021. So, I'd like to just begin by welcoming everyone um, and especially anyone who's new to the Angel School community who's watching my channel for the very first time as well. So just to make you aware, this week I have posted the general monthly angel reading earlier in the week. So if you haven't had a chance to view that, I guess I'll try to remember to put a link in the description area so that you can find it. And also, I will be posting, after this reading comes out, the 12 angel scope readings, which are for each zodiac sign. So you'll have that as well to assist you in this month. Okay, and just to remind you that my special offer, angel reading, my half-hour $77 reading, which I extended to 1 full hour since the pandemic has begun, is still available. And you can go to my webpage, theangelschool.com/services. The link is also below the video. And when you get to that page, you would just select the half-hour reading as is normally written. And within 24 hours on the first business day, I will send you a confirmation email noting the special offer. And don't fuss with the schedule thing that's on my website. Just wait for the email, and in that it will tell you everything in terms of my starting date of availability, my office hours, which is Monday through Friday, 12 noon to 6 p.m. and Eastern Standard Time. And it will tell you how to submit your availability to me, which I always ask for 3 weeks of availability and more if you have few days available within a week, so that when I'm going through each one of them in order and meditating with your angels, that I don't have to come back to you. So just pay attention, because people have been putting things where I don't have office hours. So I know retrograde is over, Mercury retrograde, but it feels like it's lingering a little bit. So just be aware. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. And I always ask you to really focus on your heart chakra as you do this. And your heart chakra, in the fifth dimensional heart chakra, is a beautiful light pink. And at the center, it's a beautiful radiant white light. And there can be some emerald green on the edges. If you still are, when you tune into your heart chakra, you're seeing the emerald green, that's okay. That's just the third dimensional chakra. So, Laudata, I forgot that Latin word, but I'm just seeing that word. I can't say it. I don't know why, because I can't see it again. But it's laudatum, or something like this. I know it means like praise the Lord or something like that. Okay, so as we just focus in on our heart chakra, and just take a deep breath. And they keep writing that word, which I can't see all the letters, but I know that's a word. And so I guess it's give thanks in your heart right now to God, and connect in with God in a way that you understand God, however that is, as mother or father, or mother, father, God, or whatever you associate that with. And it just feels like it's an opportunity for praise and gratitude for the things that you've come through in your life. We often focus so much, I just flash the word, on regrets, that we don't celebrate or give thanks for enough to God for, and when we give thanks to God, it reminds us to just celebrate the things that, the solutions that, or the ideas that come through, or the opportunities that we've had. Because this is a, you are an extension of God. And so in doing so, I get this feeling like it's an intimate one-on-one connection, and where your true self is held. And you, in doing so, you lift that up. You lift up your prayers and your desires to a higher purpose or higher calling or higher vibration. So as you just let go all the things on your mind, the worries, and just lift up whatever comes to your mind. There may have been a lot of things some things that you were really upset about, or resentments or regrets. But take a moment to see, even if I'm just still here, right? And I'm still standing. And just be aware of the peace in this moment, they're writing that out, that comes to you when you start giving thanks for the things that you've overcome. A peace replaces that pain, the suffering. And whatever else is left that you just can't seem to get off your chest or off your heart, give it over to God now. He's inviting you, whatever it is, to give it over to Him. And I know we have a Ascended Master, Lord Ganesh, coming through to clear those obstacles out of your way, so that you can focus the right assignment, your divine assignment, and that objective of your divine assignment, so that that objective will become clear to you about what your divine assignment is in this week. And they keep writing peace. So that in this week, they're bringing you peace. And they're bringing you love. And they're writing the word devotion. That they want you to be aware of their devotion to every one of your concerns. They are never neglected or set aside, even though it feels like that. But that's not what's going on. And I know I've found many times that when the solution, after really struggling, and when I finally let go, I stopped trying to figure it out by myself. And I really go into a place where I can truly find inner peace in order to listen. And let it come to me. It's sometimes I realize it's like, okay, well, I'm just, because and I'm just like you, I'll run myself, like, drive myself crazy trying to get the solution, trying to get to fix something, a problem that seems like an emergency. And it can go on for months, years. And then it takes sometimes that long, then you go, okay, what I'm doing is not working. It's just not working. And I may sit down, I might do a reading for myself or a meditation, and it just, in that moment when I surrender, however I get myself to that place or whatever allows me to do that, that's when the stuff is solved in a matter of days, weeks sometimes. And so we have to be able, and what it comes down to is when I have to decide, it always has been this way. And that's why they keep writing that word peace. Because nobody can give that to you or take it away from you. And when I was growing up, there was a song that they used to sing in our Baptist church that said, "This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away." And so, those kind of songs were just like pearls of wisdom. You didn't even realize it. But nobody can take your peace away, and nobody can give it to you, because it is within your authority. And the authority that you have is choice. And so, I hate to sound like keep beating the drum here, but intention. And when I finally, not realizing I was setting an intention, but when I finally realized, okay, I need peace, and I'm not giving it to myself, I'm letting this situation, and that's when I have to do whatever it takes to help that objective to unfold. And that causes me now that I have to withdraw from the confusion, and I have to concentrate on peace. And this is what they're writing out in front of me. So we have to withdraw ourselves from the confusion that we're experiencing, because it's not working. That's why it's getting worse, or your anxiety is getting. Withdraw, and then focus, concentrate on peace. Because when you do that, you'll see that many aspects of it is not worthy of you. And it's better to lose what we consider, or as it was put, the world, than to gain and then lose yourself. And they would say, lose your soul, is what the scripture said. But that's what we do. That's another universal truth. What would it gain us to gain the whole world but lose yourself? So, this world that we live in is, so we're consumers. Our whole economy and our whole lives are just taken up with things. And where is that coming from? Because we're trying to fill that void. We're trying to get back to that innocence, that bliss that we had before our incarnation. It's really the reason why we do what we do, because we may be individuals, but we know intuitively that we are a part of oneness and something greater, something pure and balanced, right? And so we have to really focus on our peace. We have to really reflect on what does that look like in our lives? What is it supposed to look like in our lives? Because I know sometimes I get into some of the craziest, worries and anxiety. Sometimes you can just do it over something as simple as a grocery list. You know, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We are groomed to think that we aren't ever doing enough, that we should be multitasking, doing this, doing that, and going here and doing that, and, you know, having this engagement and being involved in this and being involved in that. Because if you're not, there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you to not to have a life that's balanced. Because if you're doing everything, how can you really enjoy anything? Because when is the time to reflect? When is the time for rest? When is there a time for, to recuperate? And we can't really have peace if we don't have balance. So you could be really, you know, running here and there and feeling energized. But if you're lacking some downtime, then you don't know it, but you got a motor inside of you that won't let you stop. So you're actually being pushed. You say I'm self-motivated, self-realized, but you don't have peace. And then if something happens that throws off this whole vibe or whatever you got going, then you can lash out or get really you know upset. So the thing is that we have to find balance, and we have to ask ourselves about what a peaceful life really looks like to us, and you get to define it. It's not just the way the word sounds to you, but peace is what peace is to you. But there's a balance in all of that. And we have to remember to give thanks to whomever, to God, to whomever, but give thanks, to celebrate, to take the time to realize I just accomplished this, and it is good. You have to take that time, okay? Because in the in-between times, I think about the odd numbers and even numbers in the suits of the tarot, and 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 I was thinking about the other day. That's a balance. When the odd numbers, there's an imbalance there, and things happen. You know, um, things grow, things were challenged, and things shift, and then it's like it creates this resolution, temporary resolution, but it builds a momentum. And so, yes, there's always going to be something we're working on or working through or trying to overcome. But there's also going to be the moment that we can realize or actualize what we were trying to achieve. And so when do we say, hey, it is good, this feels great, right? And then center and really think about where you really want to go from there. And maybe life will feel like it's happening less. Maybe life will feel like it's happening. I'm trying to say, the idea is that often we think that life is just happening to us and things have been thrown at us, but it's happening because of us, and it can feel that way more and more if we keep setting clear intentions, because the universe will just orchestrate itself, orbit around that clear intention. Once you have an intention, you have a beautiful crystal, and it's sort of, and the more that you work with that intention, it becomes even more crystalline how it will manifest and in the ways that it will unfold for you. All right, so let's take a look at the Archangel. So, Archangel Raphael, and the message here is healthy lifestyle. So, this is giving you a sense that what we've just been talking about, it's not focused. Okay, um, is about creating a healthy lifestyle, creating balance in your life, right? So that you are, um, you know, the energy that we get. Sometimes you could be really, like, just say depressed or exhausted, and then something that, let's say, this is one of the, I guess, the simplest examples too, is, God, somebody you um, showed, they what am I trying to say today? Like they're show that they're attracted to you or something, and it just lights you up, and then all of a sudden you have all this energy, or um, you get an acceptance letter, and all of a sudden you go from tired, exhausted, and the light, the goodness, it just it recharges you like recharging a battery in a moment of seconds. And so if when we take the time to appreciate and have gratitude, you recharge your battery. If when you learn to focus on the positives, you recharge your battery. It's not to say that you shouldn't have negative feelings. That is not what it's all about. But you can feel a sense of empowerment, even though there are things that are challenging you at the moment, because you have a way of seeing things. You have a perspective that is enlightening, and it helps you to stay charged and fueled. It may make you um, stronger or determined, it may enforce your conviction or dedication or devotion, but you just you don't go to the point of feeling powerless, even if it's not in the sense that it will not just be this drawn out um, sentence. You might hit it and then have a realization, hey, I've come through many things before. And that's where that kind of plays in, that gratitude and appreciation. When we give praise for things that happen, when we come through, we have those moments to sustain us. It's like a backup generator for you. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. All right, so we have the Queen of Swords here, and I always think of her as someone who just likes to clear the BS, clear the air, so to speak, right? Clear your space, so that you can think, and so that you can get to the truth. So with the swords suit court, they don't want to waste time going through all of this backstory, the drama. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear the point here. And they want to focus on the point, because that's that's where your truth lies. That's where the clarity will be. And sometimes I know myself, because I'm that kind of person. I want to explain, because I'm a Pisces. I want to explain the give you the emotional backstory to everything, and if I'm trying to explain something, and in certain cases, you may need to just get to the point, right? And you will know that if you know what your intention is. So if there's a situation in which and we'll just see what the other cards are, but I feel like when you set your intention, it could be drama at your job, with you're dealing with some people, and your feelings will be like, I'm hurt, I want this person to stop treating me this way. And but if you think about what your intention is, what is it that you want out of this situation, and then let's say peace. And so then you may have to think to yourself, well, there might be several options there. This is not the right environment for me. um, you know or I don't have to deal with that person. So you have to figure that out for yourself. But without the clear intention, you leave yourself really vulnerable and exposed to be taken advantage of, to feel that people are taking advantage of you, or to feel powerless. So, think about getting to the point by thinking about what is your intention. So, for example, I want peace. Then ask yourself, what do you need for that to exist for you? Because you're not going to get that to exist for everybody else. So we can never do this with the idea that, like, I'm going to, like, sort of make everybody else experience this as well. It's not really for that. It's for you. So make sure that it's something you can live with, but also it lets you know when, if a boundary is being crossed, and then you can't find that peace, that then there you have to do something different. And it might mean moving on, right? All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. And this is the 10 of Pentacles. So this is a card about legacy, and it's about the sense of, in this context, that you want security, right? You want financial security. You want to make sure that you have everything established that you need. And so there may be something that you may need a change in your lifestyle that would allow that to happen. And maybe you're feeling like you're having trouble reaching this goal, but what's getting in your way is that there's some things that you need to clear out. You may need to look at your finances and your spending, your budget, for instance, and see if there's some things that you can cut out of your budget that just aren't necessary. Are we doing this because we feel obligated to do it? Or is this something that is really beneficial to your long-term goals? So, look at your long-term goals, look at how you are meeting those objectives, and if there's excess that might be crippling that objective. Okay, so it may be in order to get here, and this is just not about the money. This is about, because you can see it includes family, and with the family here, for me, it's always been a family and a generations of family. It says at the heart of that security is this kind of love, right? This kind of not just love of family, but loved ones, right? Is at the heart of our needs, right? That people are more important than just things. So it would be a completely different card if it was just one person there. And I think on purpose, the original creator, Pamela Coleman Smith, and probably Arthur Waite, put the family there for a reason. All right. So that, it's nothing to have all these things. It's nothing without people that we can share our wealth with, right? And to pass it on. So look at what you need to cut out, and that lifestyle change might be simplifying your lifestyle so that you can have more security, because again, we're in a we're just focused so much on consuming so much and things, that we put more responsibility on our shoulders to carry, to be a success than is necessary. So think about this in terms of any goals that you might have for yourself right now. It could be something as simple as you want to start a business, and um, but you have all these financial obligations, and there's some things that you're doing, and maybe there's just some things cluttering up your spending, your budget, and they could just be eliminated, and your lifestyle could be simplified if it brings you the peace that you desire. So I would first say, set the intention. So like, if peace was your intention, that you want to feel secure, you want to feel at peace, that's what safe feels like to you, that's what security feels like to you. Then now, once you have established that and you've gone through those steps, what would this be like in general, and specifically in this situation, and what are the pitfalls? Like, the pitfalls might be, oh, I tend to, when I walk past a store, I have to have it, and then you may have to be aware, okay, I tend to spend in these areas, and that's wasting money. It's taken away from something that really matters to my heart, and then it makes me feel like I can't ever get what I want. So now that you're aware of that, and you've written all this down, because it's just not to say it. That's one thing I want to make sure I'm clear about, because when I was doing this, when I was saying it in my head, that didn't make a difference until I wrote it down and really thought it through. So that's just an example. All right, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. And so we have the Hierophant, and this is, you know, um, in terms of traditions, this was coming to me right now about this card, um, and the values and our belief systems, that are kind of, sort of, that might come from within our own family structures, or the institutions that we associate ourselves with, and so there may be something here in which you have to examine in terms of your beliefs around, um, security and success, and fulfilling your obligations, to others. I was having like a little bit of pain as I was meditating for this reading on the shoulder blade in the back, and in this deck that I bought, on the I can't think of the name of the author, but she said it represented responsibility, and it's so interesting. And so you may want to think about this in terms of what is it that you're practicing? Okay, what are your practices in your life in terms around, finances that need to be cleared up? And I know we're getting really close to the Christmas holidays, so this might be a good time to look at these kinds of things. All right, so the card that, um, pulled already from the bottom of the deck is the King of Cups. And it's interesting, her drawing of this. All of the kings are like neutral, black and white, and they represent the level of maturity, in terms of the pinnacle of success, or, um, within their suit, and the outcome of the suit. So the King of Cups. Now it's interesting because he's the most harried, the energy around him. But this also represents that, what we would see in the normal drawing of this, the sea, the ocean behind him, that's just very stormy, and that he's just clearly focused, like the eye of the storm. He's always, very peaceful, very grounded, even though he's in that situation. So this is sort of coming back to what we were saying about the peace, right? And so you have to, things may be, things can get hairy and things can get, you know, dramatic, but if you have a clear intention, you'll be like I'm saying the word sage. You'll be the sage in the room, in the space, wherever you are, and things won't. Things can happen. Things will still be happening, but they won't rattle you. Okay, they won't throw you off if you have a clear intention. And then, and of course, and this week, what I feel like they're telling you to do is really work, because you can just say, "Oh, I want peace," and so then you're gonna go around all week and say, "I'm not doing this because I don't want peace." But if you don't, it's not about what other people are doing. It's not about what's going on around you. It's about how you're living. It's about your lifestyle, and they're not criticizing your lifestyle, but they're wanting you to now examine, because as we go through this ascension process, and the goal is a world of peace someday. So think about it. Each one of us is going to contribute to that by the choices that we make within ourselves. And, hopefully, I mean, our world, that peace, this um, FOMO, that we have now with, oh, everybody else has it, I gotta have it, right? And it causes us to um, just consume um, a lot of things that we really don't need, and some things that we don't even want, right? Nobody's going to be able to have peace if we don't get a handle on something like that, as an example. But I'm not trying to change you, and you're not trying to change me. But what I would do is try to change myself around those things, and that's something that you have to do. And every one of us that discovers how to live a truly peaceful, healthful lifestyle becomes a true influencer. Because when people see you living in a vibrational state that reminds them sort of like the peace of a newborn baby, which reminds them of what it must have been like to be one with God, or before incarnation, that bliss that we're all seeking, and that we do all kinds of crazy things, including, our addictions have, to me, have everything to do with that. We're trying to get back to that. And we try to do it through things. It's not the things, it's not about the things for us, really. We're trying to get back to our state of wholeness. In this world of duality, and through our ego's shattered lens, everything is separation. It's you versus me, and them versus us, and all that kind of stuff, right? And so that makes our soul uneasy, because it's not true to the soul. Your soul knows this is not true, but it doesn't know how to articulate what it really wants, because of the veil of illusion. And what's projected around us is the physical world and all these separate things. Everything that you identify as a separate thing, right? So, and that really is the opposite of what we are in terms of oneness, and what makes the soul aware of its wholeness. So you and I have to make that decision starting now. And we have to set an intention to, as I told you in the monthly, there's some energy this month. I've never felt it before. Such a high vibration, and it's so, oh, it feels so good. And I experience it every day when I meditate. And that's where I noticed it, because when I meditate, I always feel a shift. But this was like way more expanded. And so we are definitely, something has shifted in terms of our ascension process. And I really feel like that the higher we get, the more we have to get clear about our intention. And we also have to clear out the clutter that interferes with that sense of wholeness that our soul knows to be true. Our soul lives in a state of equality, eternity, wholeness, peace, harmony, balance. It's not boring. Let's just get this. I mean, you know, whatever we think heaven is, it's not boring. It's not like everybody walks around and it's not boring like that. Um, I was just telling a friend the other day, when I taught in Catholic school, it blew my mind. I'll never forget the Sister Dorothy Flanagan. And those who are Catholic may know this, but I didn't, because I grew up Baptist, and it was sort of a literal definition of heaven and hell. But what I was told in a catechist class is it's a state of being, one in the presence of the Trinity and the other in the absence of it. And that for me blew my mind. Maybe not didn't blow your mind, but it blew mine, because everybody's always saying heaven, it's like this and it's like this. And so you can live you're living in heaven and hell. It's your state of mind. And we have the ability to choose the state of mind by enforcing it with the intentions that help you to stay focused on the goal, to stay focused on the prize. And that's why this is so important. The King of Cups could never have gotten there, because the world he cannot change around him, meaning he can't stop the ocean from raging. And when we see the ocean raging, the ocean is actually purifying. The earth, when it has its little things that it does that we don't like, those are energy clearances. Those are energy clearances, purifications. And what happens is it allows for more transcendent downloads and frequencies to now replace it. So everything that's happening with us collectively as humanity is the same thing. We're purging these outbursts and all this stuff that's been happening, all this confrontation. We're fighting, but we can't fight it. We're going with it one way or the other, but it is that outpour of sentiment, whether it's rage or whatever. It's a purging when we release our emotions, and then our heads are clearer for higher understanding. It's unfortunate that it looks like we're hurting each other to do it, but it's our way of moving forward. And someday, hopefully, we will learn that we don't need to do it this way, and we choose together a healthier lifestyle, a healthier way of shaping ideas and dealing with problems. All right, so I'm gonna stop. And I'm just gonna send you love and angel blessings. And and a transformative month, because definitely it's going to be that. All right. God bless you.